You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for an incredible session here of the African Father in America podcast. We are here for the daily African Proverbs. My name is Simon Javan Okelo and I am in Seattle, Washington. And today I have a really incredible guest that we've been working for a couple of weeks to get her to join us for the live broadcast on YouTube and also on Clubhouse, where she has been one of the most consistent supporters of the daily African Proverbs. We have Debbie Berlin. So if you're watching, because you can't wave, she's waving right now, you should comment and let us know where in the world you're joining us from. Let us know where in the world you are joining us from. And if you are on Clubhouse, make sure you are also typing in the comment there, letting us know where you're joining us from, and also share the link to the Clubhouse room and invite 3 to 5 people to join us. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have an incredible guest, and we also have an incredible poem. This poem that we're going to, the proverb that we have a poem actually, yeah. So we have to share that poem actually. It's already coming. I'm already telling this secret. Anyhow, our proverb, and as usual, we gather here every morning in order for us to make our ancestors proud. We share a new African proverb literally every Monday to Friday. And we've been, doing this since January 2021, live like this. Before that, I was sharing these proverbs on social media, maybe a video here, a video there, and other forms of content. But doing it live really makes it complete because you get to meet people, connect with people virtually, eventually meet with people in person. For example, I'm producing Madaraka Festival on August 13th and 14th. And about 3 of the headlining artists, I met them online, through Clubhouse and Instagram. We've never met in person. But because we've done enough things together online, we now have built a certain sense of trust. And we've tested each other's ability to collaborate, and now we are like, let's do something in person. So meeting you, Debbie, and also being able to host you today means a lot. But it speaks to the proverb that we are discussing today. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This is a Gambian proverb. So when you think about this proverb that we're discussing today, and again, it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This proverb is often quoted in many business circles. If you look at the TED Talks, you will find this proverb everywhere. But also really, it speaks to the power of this proverb. It speaks to the power of collaboration, partnership, harambe, ubuntu, So Debbie is here to speak to us a little more about that. In a moment, you're all going to learn about what Debbie thinks about this proverb. What is her own interpretation? You will learn about a story from her childhood that inspires her as the leader that she is today. And then you will also learn about her work as the founding director of the STEAM Center at Dynamic Wellness. The work she's doing as a coding coach, and also as a video game developer. So that's why part of our headlines on Clubhouse is gaming. And I want to invite some of you who have already joined me here to be with us on the stage. Let's make this space on Clubhouse a little warmer. If you're joining us for the first time, I would love to see you on the stage. We are live on YouTube as well. If you want to see us there, the link is at the top of the Clubhouse room. So we are going to invite comments from the audience in about 25 minutes or so, or 30 minutes. But for now, I want to share the 3 takeaways that I just want you to note before we dive deep into the conversation with Debbie today. These are the takeaways from this proverb, what you should, even if you have to dash out and not come back, these are the 3 things you should take away as our gift today to you in regards to what this proverb says. Number 1, proverbs are short, memorable phrases that capture a truth or wisdom about life, So even though you've had this proverb many times, spend some time with it and know that the reason why it has become, a lifetime viral proverb, similar to One Love, this song by Bob Marley. It's like the message in it is very memorable. The phrases in it they will stick in your mind throughout your life, throughout different situations. So that's the first takeaway. What is it that is in this proverb that you can keep with you? Number 2, these proverbs can also be used to give advice, make a point, or simply entertain. So this proverb has also become entertainment lately, because people associate it with a cliche African proverb, or this is the popular proverb that you find in Western circles or in business settings. We tend to discuss deeper African proverbs that are not this popular. So, but still there is advice and a point that it's trying to make besides the entertainment. And then this proverb can be applied in any situation, no matter how big or small. For me and my 2 daughters, sometime, I bring it up when they are even unable to work together. When we are trying to clean and one is not cleaning while the others are cleaning, then you can share this proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Because if they don't finish cleaning, there will be no TV that day, So if you want to have this opportunity, then you need to do something about it. But you can't really succeed on your own. You have to find help, So that's the essence of our conversation today. Debbie, I want you to take a moment and add a little more about who you are, and then from there share with us what your perspectives on this proverb are.
Absolutely. First of all, I have to say before I introduce myself, I love the One Love Bob Marley reference because my family is Jamaican, so I'm feeling the One Love vibes already. And I used to say when I was a kid, I was born in Miami, grew up in Maryland, and now I'm rocking with the one-man band. So here I am. Greetings, Debbie Berlin, Game Dev Debbie, joining from Maryland, very close to Washington, D.C. And I also like to introduce myself with a little rap and rhyme because it makes it fun. So my name is Debbie, and I'm here to say I can help you learn to code today. You can make a game that you can play. You could be in the App Store someday. We all use computers and we all use tech. When you know how to code, then you come correct. Don't be afraid if it seems hard. Go inch by inch, then yard by yard. You'll be a pro before you know. Try something new, level up and grow. You don't have to try all by yourself. I'm Game Dev Debbie, and I'm here to help. Yes, indeed.
I love it. I love how you ended it, and I can definitely take that and also say I'm Simon Okelo and I'm here to help.
Hey, that's it. See, we go further together. We collaborate, we inspire, And so before I share my thoughts on this particular proverb, again, because I love that rhythm and rhyme, I just wanted to say something to kind of bring us into the mode of discussing the proverbs. And so I say, daily proverbs, knowledge in your hand, wisdom from the motherland, ancestor sayings like fire in the night, guide us now, give us light. Amen. All right. Well, I am excited. To talk about this proverb from Gambia. You go fast by yourself, you go further with others. It says it all. It speaks to what Simon touched upon, collaboration, right? If one is on the path, and they get tired, well, maybe your friend comes along and they have the strength to lift you up, and vice versa. Also, it speaks to the multiple talents and skill sets that are introduced when we work as a community, right? So you have your strength, I have my strength, and we are, as they say, stronger together, and we can do more together because we're relying on more resources and more that we're bringing to the path, bringing to the party, right? We're going to go a lot further. Also, I think of Kwanzaa, which was instituted in the US by an African American professor, so we can get more in touch with our ancestral roots. And there is a principle, I don't recall the name of it, but it's about cooperative economics. And so that speaks to, again, sharing resources, as often we want to do, support Black-owned businesses, support women-owned businesses, support each other, right? So we circulate the economics, we circulate the energy, we circulate the inspiration, and we all, again, we're going further together. Yes, and we all come from our family, and we all associate with our friends. So we need those people in our life that love us regardless, that know us from day zero to perhaps day end, that they don't care what you do for a living because they see you as their daughter or their sister, and that is the love. So I am inspired by my family's love. I'm inspired by my true blue friends, that are with you and love you for who you are. And I go further in life knowing that they love me. And I think of my ancestors, some I knew in life, some I may not know because sometimes our history is erased. But this is why thinking about the lessons, for example, my grandmothers taught me growing up, it sticks with you, it guides you. Both of my grandmothers dearly departed, but their lessons and their love and their inspiration is still with me. It still persists. So I'm going further as well with what they've taught me. And I'd lastly like to conclude my discussion of this proverb with a perspective that Maya Angelou shared, where she would talk about, oftentimes she would find herself as the only in certain spaces. Maybe she's the only woman. Maybe she's the only person of color. And how does she deal with that, perhaps anxiety, or maybe she doesn't feel like she belongs? Does she have a seat at the table? And she said, you know what? When I walk into a room, boardroom, whatever it is, I don't come by myself. I bring everybody with me, right? Not in physical form, but in her mind, in her heart. And so I think of that a lot. If ever I'm going to a space where I don't see anybody that looks like me, and I'm wondering, am I in the right classroom? Am I going for the right degree? Am I in the right, I just think if I'm here, I belong, number one. And number two, I psychologically bring everybody with me. I bring my mom cheering me on, my brother cheering me on, my friends cheering me on, people that I admire, whether they're celebrities, whether they know me or not, they're cheering me on, and I bring that energy with me so that, as Maya Angelou explained, you don't go into the room by yourself. You bring everybody with you, right? And so again, that really articulates the value of this proverb means to me. I can do it fast by myself. Sometimes you got to get it done quick. But if you want to go further, teamwork, as John C. Maxwell says, makes the dream work.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Oh, I love it. Your energy level is always is always transforming the room. Literally, every time Davy speaks, everybody gets excited. So I thank you for just bringing that energy this morning. I see that Kay Benjamin is with us on YouTube. Thank you, Kay, for taking your time and for your continued support. David K is also saying thank you, by the way. And I want to just come back here on Clubhouse for a moment and thank you, Patrice and Wanda and Gatara and Brother and Sarah. I see that we've been joined on the stage by Leah, as well as we have B. Harvey, and we have Rushi and Bibi. Thank you all for being here with us. We are going.
Harvey, welcome. Harvey is one of our community members. Thank you for showing up. Brought the
Nice,
village with me.
nice. Nice. So, I want you, Debbie, to take us on a journey because one of the questions I ask every guest that I host for the African Father in America podcast, especially the Daily African Proverbs, I ask about a childhood story that inspires who you are as a leader today, and you being one of the most consistent listeners of this show, I'm sure you've heard me ask this question. You've heard me ask other guests this question, and I want you to share with us. And you probably are familiar with what my story is when it comes to what inspires who I am today. That is a childhood story. So I'll create space for you, but I want to invite everyone who is watching this on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is a good time for you to do that. That's one way that you can support, and also you can give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can be notified whenever we do these live streams. The other thing is, if you're on Clubhouse, remember to continue sharing the room, and also share it on other platforms outside of Clubhouse. That's another way that you can support. You can clip some of the nuggets that you're hearing from the room and tweet it as well. That's another way that you can support. Thank you so much. So, Debbie, I want you to take us on this journey.
Yes, indeed. And thank you so much for sharing your stories as well, because you've always spoken about how inspirational your mom has been. And I wholeheartedly agree that our parents are our first teachers, are our first inspirations, our first role models. And so I would like to pay homage to both of my parents, starting with my father, who died when I was a baby, and I don't remember him, but I have been often told a story that before he passed, the last act that he did in life was to tell his little baby girl a bedtime story before he went to sleep and then transitioned. And so the reason why I start with this story is because both of my parents instilled in me a love of learning. By reading to our children, we're instilling in them a love of books and education. And I just thought that was a beautiful legacy that I have, that my father read to me as a little baby, as a child, and shared his love of learning with me in that way. And it's such a beautiful legacy that I hold on to in regard to my father. And of course, my mother. Wow, my mother, I'm so grateful to her because she really encouraged us children to learn and to take a sense of responsibility for our education. And so the childhood story with my mom is, yes, she would also read to us, and she would teach us phonics. She used to give me these phonics flashcards. Because of her help, I was the first one in kindergarten to learn to read, whatever. But it's because I had a mom that was my champion behind me and my brother. And she would always, as a child, if you have a question, to say, Mom, how do you spell this word? And what does this word mean? And she, instead of giving the answer, because, they say if you give someone fish or tofu fish, I'm vegan, got to put a disclaimer. You're just feeding them one day, but you teach them where to get the tofu fish from, you're feeding them for life. So she would teach me where to get the information from. So she would say, look it up in the dictionary. And I said, Mom, how can I look up the word in the dictionary? How do you spell it? And she would say, sound it out. And I said, okay. So then I would go, if I'm looking up the word apple, then look through A, and that way, she taught me more than just for that moment. She taught me what I still keep with me today, which is lifelong learning, and how to get the information, how to go to the source, how to learn, not just facts, right? Because there's an infinite amount of facts, but how to find the facts, how to find the information, how to learn, how to read, how to learn. And she said to me, Debbie, when I taught you kids how to read, that's it. Take it to the library, the knowledge encyclopedias. It's at your fingertips. Once a child learns how to read, you've opened the doors, right? And then even more so, you're teaching them how to learn, how to get the information. So they take that level of being proactive and they become knowledge seekers for life, which I still am. I'm a lifelong learner. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. And of course, I have to thank my brother, my big brother, who always helped me with my math homework and everything else. That's another childhood story I can't leave out. He had an open door policy whenever I needed help with my homework. And so I'm so fortunate to have these childhood stories of the people, my family, and my life that helped to be part of my formative experiences, that set excellent role models for education, for knowledge, for the pursuit of learning. And I'm so grateful. And I'm going further with all of those formative experiences. And I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Debbie. I just, as you are speaking, I was thinking about how, I don't know why. For the first time, I was just thinking of, I've asked this question a lot, and I've told my story that relates to the answer to this question a lot. But listening to you, I realized that it's the first time that someone didn't tell a story, but they just shared gratitude, with people that impacted them around the period of 8 to 12 years old, that really shows up in who they are as a leader today. So I really appreciate you for your words of wisdom and these beautiful stories that you've shared with us today. I want to welcome Tutaleni Asino. Thank you for joining us today, my brother. And I also want to welcome, all our guests on the stage, Rushi, Bibi, everyone else from Matt and Jean and Willem. Thank you all for joining us. I see Cabs as well. Thank you for being here with us. We are also live on YouTube. So if you have a moment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you push the thumbs up for this video. We are here having a beautiful conversation as part of the daily African Proverbs being recorded for the African Father in America podcast. And my guest is Debbie Berlin. We've talked about her interpretation of our proverb for today. If you're just joining us, the proverb for today says that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So Debbie has also shared with us a couple of childhood stories, and now we want to talk about your work, Debbie. What makes you most proud about your work as the founding director of the STEAM Center for Dynamic Wellness, and also, your work as a coding coach and, a video game developer. But you're also a poet. You're also like a natural artist too. You're always, ready to share something. So speak to, out of all this incredible work that you do, what is it that, similar to what you're saying about your dad, that the last thing he did was to tell his beautiful daughter a story, what would that, what makes you most proud?
Indeed. Well, as the founding director of the STEAM Center at Dynamic Wellness, I am very proud that I have been able to create a space for children that look like me to see themselves in the field of science, technology, engineering, and math. And the A in STEAM is art, because we try to make it interesting and show how we can combine both hemispheres of our brain, right and left. You're an artist, you're a scientist, we can all bring it together. So, it was just a matter of showing up and making myself available. Hey, I'd love to teach the kids how to code. And it was a very wonderful store owner by the name of Nathaniel Mines of Dynamic Wellness that opened up his doors. And also kudos to Mr. Vaughn Bennett, who is a chess teacher. I walked in one day, just thought I was going to do some shopping, and I saw a chess table, and I asked, what's going on? We teach kids how to play chess on the weekends. Wow, have you ever taught them coding? What's that? Come back and teach us. So Mr. Nate Mines and Mr. Vaughn Bennett, for the past year, that was last summer, have been so gracious and welcoming to me in order to create this STEM center, the STEAM center, to teach the children how to get excited about science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And, that has just been so wonderful. I applied for and we were able to secure to be part of the Scratch Education Collaborative. Now, that Scratch is a project out of MIT. It started at MIT. It's the most #1 popular coding language for children. It's visual. It's like you're putting together puzzle pieces, block-based. And the children can make little video games, little animation stories, little music. Children as young as 3 years old have started with it. You can do Scratch Junior. And it's so exciting because now we are part of this cohort. So we're going to be networking with other organizations around the world, Scratches around the world. And we're going to be exchanging ideas on how we can support emerging communities. I don't like the word underserved, underprivileged, underrepresented. We're not under anything. We are emerging youth and future kings, future queens. So we always have to speak life into our children. And so I'm so excited. That is one of the greatest accomplishments. So we'll be able to work with the group that created the software and also with other groups around the world. Now, as a coding coach, and that's how I see the work I do, because the biggest thing is to get a child to believe in him or herself. When a child believes in him or herself, they will, they can, they do anything, right? And I speak from my experience of knowing what it's like to deal with imposter syndrome. Am I good enough? Self-esteem, And so I can see when I'm teaching a child, it's not that they're not getting the information or they can't get the information, because every child can do anything and everything. It's that sometimes they don't believe in themselves. They say, oh, it's too hard. Oh, it's too... And I say to them, which lends into why I see myself as a coding coach, I said, oh, what about learning how to ride a bicycle? Is that hard? And they say, well, yeah. I said, do you know how to ride a bike? Yes. Did you always know how to ride a bike? No. How did you get from not knowing and it being hard to now you're a pro? Oh, I started, I kept going, I tried. You see, and I helped them realize, oh, I've done hard things before. You know, one of the hardest things to do is learning to walk. Can you imagine? It's so much easier to crawl on the ground. You can't fall, you're just on the ground. But look at those brave little babies and children that said, you know what, I'm going to try this thing. I don't have my balance. And I fell down, and I fell down, I fell down again. But look at them walking. Why? Because they saw everybody else walking. It looked cool. They had the legs to do it. Now they can walk, run, dance, skip, hop, right? And so it's helping the children and everybody to realize you have to look back on your accomplishments and remember that it used to be hard at the beginning. You started, you didn't give up. You got the village, so you can go further to support you. And now you can walk, you can ride a bicycle, you can do all these things. So therefore, even though this new task is new, the process of going from hard to getting it, trying it, doing it, mastery, pro, is the same. And so I like to help the children see that they've already conquered. And so my biggest accomplishment is just that, inspiring the children. There's a story in particular I remember of a young little boy. And again, I can tell when it's not that the information is difficult. He's highly intelligent, 100% capable, but he didn't believe in himself. And each time he would go a little bit further, and then you see his self-esteem deflate, and he would give up. No, I can't do this. But that one day, maybe a couple months into it, that one day when he got to the finish line, oh, it was a night and day difference. He believed in himself. He stood up straight. His mom was there and his father figure was there, and he'd proudly show off his code. And I have each child, when you come to my STEAM center, if you meet one of the kids, I have them introduce themselves, their name and their title. So my name is so-and-so, and I am a software developer. Because the minute they put together those first puzzle blocks and write their first lines of code, yes, they are. And we have to speak words of life into ourselves, into the mirror, into the children, into our community. And you own it. And they own it. Yes, and he was so proud. And that, those moments, I think, is my biggest accomplishment, because that lives on way longer than me. The children grow up, they believe in themselves, they conquer the world. I feel like if you help a child, you really save a life, and you help them realize their future. So my biggest accomplishment as a coding coach, yes, inspiring kids. Bam, you can do it. And lastly, you asked about my career as a video game developer. Oh, so not only am I helping to shape new video game developers and creating little projects for the children to work with, but I also am very proud that I was able to become Unity certified. Unity is a AAA studio, so the big games that you see. And over quarantine, they've been so supportive with learning on online offerings. And so I went through the course and I got my certification. I felt so proud of myself. Ta-da. And, I've been able to put together a little portfolio of games to show my progress as I was learning and creating. And one of my proudest games is it's a very simple prototype, but it's about affirmations, because again, I believe I am. Speak words of life. First, start with the mirror. Speak words of life. It's so important that we speak kind and empowering words to ourselves. So I created a game called Go the Distance. And you click on a power word and you say your affirmation. And if nobody has cheered you on today or in life, you'll hear me cheering you on. So you click the word strong. And I say, yes, you are strong. Yes, you are powerful. Yes, you are smart. And that way you use it as an exercise tool to say your affirmations. You also get that external validation and cheering on. Because again, together we go further. Right, Simon?
Yeah. There's something really special about listening to you speak that reminds me of being in the presence of a teacher. Good teachers, the moment they start speaking, they draw your attention to the only thing you will listen to is what they're saying. So I think you have that in you, and I really, really appreciate listening to you. And there's a lot that I took away from what you shared with us. You've done so much, but I want you to add poetry and art, because you're fusing this into science in a really beautiful way. So speak to that.
100%. There's something about when something rhymes. If you think about commercials we listen to, when it rhymes, it sticks with us. Maybe we're trying to remember the quadratic equation, but when it rhymes, we remember it years and years. And so I like to rap and rhyme. I've been doing that since I was in 3rd grade, and I thought I was going to be the next Salt and Pepper on my little playground. But I found a way to incorporate my love of rap and rhyme and poetry into teaching kids and celebrating the Proverbs like we've been doing daily. And I'll share some rap and rhyme about them. And it just adds an extra oomph of life. As you know, Simon, since you're a musician yourself, ongeringo. That's how Simon tells us how to keep going. Yes, ongeringo.
You're so hilarious. Yes. I think you should add comedy to the things you do too. But yeah. I can't believe you know about Ongeringo. But now I remember you commenting on it on YouTube. Yeah, I love that song.
Yes.
Anyhow, carry on.
Absolutely. It just inspires. For those that may not know, Simon is also a musical recording artist. Check out his Ongeringo on YouTube. I promise you'll have that song in your head for the rest of the day. It's so catchy and lively.
Oh,
and
so
Simon
great.
can tell us better, but it means to keep going. You start something, keep going. Ongeringo, ringo, onge.
Yes, yeah. Never give up. Yeah, it means exactly that. Never give up. Keep going.
And with others, we go further. Yes. Well, as I was saying, I like to add a little rap and rhyme just to get the kids excited about STEM. You got to make it cool, right? And so, for example, when you're trying to learn your X and Y axis, if you're new to which way is up, down, left, right, how about a little jingle to remember? So I have my kids, they stand up and they do embodied movement so you can have that muscle memory, right? And they say, I wrote a little something, positive Y, to the sky, negative Y, down to the ground. Positive X might be a mirror flip, so right hand. Positive X, right to the right. Negative X, left out of sight. And you got to put a little attitude when you say left out of sight. You got to make it cool. And another cheer I have the children do so they can remember, what does STEA and what does all these letters mean and stand for? So it goes like this. Have you got a dream? Power it with steam. Science and tech make you come correct. Engineering and art, now that's real smart. And you want to be slick? Add mathematics. We've got a dream, and we power it with steam. Yay! And they love it. Gets the kids excited about learning.
It does, and not only kids, even adults. Like that makes me want to learn more about STEAM. That makes me want to pay attention. So I feel that learning has always been made that it just has to be one way, but infusing art into anything that needs to be learned makes it much more easier to digest. So I want to thank you again, Debbie, for being our special guest today. I want to create space for us to listen to a few comments from our friends who are on stage on Clubhouse. We'll hear briefly from each one of you, and then we'll come back to Debbie to just reflect on everything you shared. And Debbie, when we come to wrap up, I also want you to talk about the Gaming for Change conference that you recently attended, but also how we can support you as you wrap up the session. So let's hear from Bibi just briefly, what is it that inspired you out of the conversation with Debbie today, and what are your own perspectives in regards to this proverb from Gambia? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Thank you so much. Share where you're joining us from as well, please. Thank you so much, Bibi.
Thank you, Simon, and thank you, Debbie. So great to hear you this early morning. I just don't know how you do it, but it's like it's amazing. It's beautiful. I remember I used to be a morning person, but I haven't been for a long time. So it's beautiful hearing you so energetic and so chirpy early in the morning. I love it. I'm joining from Tennessee, and Angela just woke up, but so you guys will be hearing her in the background. And what I really love with your conversation with Debbie is how she uses storytelling and implementing music in the beginning. I love that, and that's what I've been doing with my daughter lately, the oldest girl, since I've been trying to teach her my language. So I finally got her to be able to sing the alphabets and also count 1 to 10 in my language. And throughout the day, whenever we talk, I always add songs to it because she loves singing. So it's like I sing song to her, whatever I want her to learn and understand, and that seems to work faster, and she actually seems to master it pretty fast. And I love that. And I just remember growing up, that's how we learned a lot of things that I remember now. We learned it through music because music is life, really. And when it comes back to today's proverb, I just think of my running races and whatnot. it's like when I train for my long runs, we usually run with two to three other people within. And when we're doing our speed work, I always felt like my speed work are better when I run it by myself. And when it comes to race days, especially when we're running marathons, when you run it with your team, you actually tend to enjoy running more, and you actually finish the race earlier than you would imagine, and without being so tired, because you run talking to each other, and when you take a break, you take a break together. By break, you're not really walking, you're like speed walking. And when you walk, when you do all that together, you tend to go further and actually enjoy the race as well. And kind of like just life is like a marathon. You can't do it really by yourself. You need everybody else to do it with you. So whenever you want some speed work, you can always do that by yourself. But if you want to go further, you just can't do it by yourself. You got to do it today. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. I love that. I love anything that can be taught through sports is something I also love, because, for example, running is something I love doing, and I love listening to you speak about your running endeavors, Bibi. It's truly inspiring. Let's hear from Rushi. How are you, my brother? What is your perspective on the proverb? Where are you joining us from? And what inspired you from the conversation with Debbie today?
Hey, Simon. It's been a great conversation with Debbie. I can tell you that much. I don't think I need any coffee this morning because Debbie is definitely all the caffeine I need for today. I can say that much. I love how she started the day with her energy, and also, I love the Ringo Onge Ringo song. That's one of my favorite songs. uh, but I am joining you from Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I am today. And the proverb speaks to me kind of in a different way. I know that it's pretty much when you read it, it says what it says when you read it. You know exactly what it means, and it's definitely the truth. But I also think about when I think about this proverb for me personally, I think of me as far as I know for me, sometimes you get in a zone where you just want to do one thing, you just work, and you forget to actually expand and develop yourself. Self-development, this proverb speaks to me about self-development in terms of if you really want to further yourself, you have to expand your knowledge about the things that you do know and things that you do not know. And that's one thing that really speaks to me about this proverb, especially in the fact of, I know for me, once I stopped just working and I stopped to actually be present and try to learn new things, that's when I found my world being more enriched, physically, financially, and spiritually. Is when I found myself being more complete, when I actually stopped trying to do things all alone. So I think that's what this proverb speaks to me about. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you have to go together, but you have to find the circle of knowledge to keep so you can revolve and actually roll the right way in your life. So thank you for the time, and also thank you for your guest today, and thank you, Simon, for this great platform.
Thank you, my brother, for your continued support. I truly appreciate you for being here and for your words of wisdom. And thank you to everyone who is joining us on YouTube. We are live and direct. My guest today is Debbie Berlin, and we've just had a really incredible conversation. But now we are hearing contributions from all of you, our guests who are on stage, and also, we just have to engage our guests who are watching this conversation as well. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is a good time for you to do that. And also, if you are on Clubhouse and you haven't followed the African Father in America Club, this is a good time for you to do that. And then finally, If you haven't followed me on Instagram, I would love for you to just take a moment and follow me on Instagram so that you can learn more about Madaraka Festival that I am producing in Seattle on August 13th and 14th. It will also be live streamed, on One Vibe TV on YouTube. So, connect with me, DM me there, and I'll let you know how you can be involved from wherever you might be around the world. So now I want to come to you, B. Harvey. Share with us your thoughts. How has the conversation with Debbie today inspired you? And what are your own perspectives of this proverb from Gambia? Thank you so much.
Grand Rising, everyone. The conversation, first, I want to say, hey, Debbie. Debbie's energy and what she's doing in the community is so like vital, and just getting the connecting with the youth and how she brings her songs. Like my son, he just loves Miss Debbie, as he called her, and she works with him with doing coding, and she knows how to connect. I love the way that she connects with the children and even adults. Whenever you come in a room or come around her, you just feel like, even today, as everyone said, you just feel, uplifted, and it makes you, want to meet her at her same vibration. And I think that's just so important, and for the community at times, because we have so many things on our minds sometimes that we're not in the present moment, and that energy just allows you to be in the present, and like you said, just listen to everything that she's saying. She has that that voice that'll reel you in like that. So I really enjoyed the conversation, and the proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I think that's so important, because community is so important. And I'm an artist, and I started on this journey, figuring it out, because I was self-taught and everything. But now I'm learning that, I thought it was a badge of honor to say, oh yeah, I did it by myself. However, the more I learn, and the more I change my perspective, I see that in order to, get to some of the places that I would like to go, I need a community, and it's very helpful to have a community, because that support system, and you have people in the community that can add value, to what you're doing, and vice versa. And it also opens up opportunities for you, to be able to share your gift with the world. You never know who, spirit brings in your life to help change, or, expand your perspective on things. And yeah, so I support the proverb. You can go fast, but even in that fast journey, are you absorbing the moment? Are you valuing what's around you, or how you got there, or you just ran the race and you got there and it's like, oh, I did it, but you missed so many of the little components that make the journey, worthwhile, when you go fast. And the far journey, you are able to, stop along the way and meet people, and commune with people, enjoy the different moments that allowed you to go as far as you're able to kind of reach. And the journey may, you may go off on the path a little bit, but the things that you acquire on that journey is so much more important than the destination itself. So that's my 2 cents.
Incredible. I agree. The journey is the destination. I just love that. I want to come to you, my brother Tutaleni. Share with us where you are joining us from, what your perspectives are on this proverb, and also if there's anything that inspired you from my conversation with Debbie today.
Simon, thank you. Hello, everybody. I am joining right now from Oklahoma in the US. Um, and I've been enjoying the conversation, Debbie. Um, I use MIT App Inventor to teach third and fourth grades how to code. So what you were talking about was definitely aligning with a lot of the work that I do. So thank you for sharing your experiences and energy this morning. I've seen this proverb so many times. It was once plastered in Johannesburg airport for many months on the gate and before you leave to depart to the US. And I've always thought it funny because as an African growing up, I don't remember ever having an opportunity to do anything alone. So I've always thought it was funny when it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I just don't remember any chance where I had a chance to be alone because everything you do is around the community. Everything you are is about the community. So I've always thought it funny that as a proverb because it doesn't seem realistic in my community that I live in. But it is just reminding us of the importance of community. So it's one of my favorite. Thank you, as always, Simon, for this room.
Thank you, my brother Tutaleni. I appreciate you as well, for making the time to join us today, sharing your words of wisdom, and also for the work you do in the Namibia house. I deeply appreciate you. I want to come to you, Stella, as we are heading towards the end of our session today. Also share with us your perspectives on the proverb, what inspired you, out of the conversation with Debbie, and also where you are joining us from. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon. Hi, everyone. Hi, Debbie. I really love your energy. You're so full of positive energy that just makes someone want to grab it and feel the same way, and so inspiring. Thank you for that. Um, on today's proverb, I think this proverb is very popular, just like everyone has said, and it's again it's self-explanatory, and it's just trying to encourage us to be there for one another, work together, and always hold each other's hand so that people are not left behind to struggle alone. And again, I also like the way Debbie was relating it to Ongeringo and how they just they just they're similar. The proverb and the song are just similar. Otherwise, I'm happy to be here, and thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Ongeringo is in the mind of everyone in this room today, so we need to be. I need to listen to some Ongeringo after this. But we have our special guest here, our brother Jay Noland. How are you doing, brother? It's been a while. Welcome to the Daily African Proverbs. Share with us, your perspectives on this proverb, and also if there's anything in the conversation we just had with David that inspired you, and also let us know where in the world you're joining us from today. Thank you so much.
Hey, Brother Simon, you're always my brother. I had to do some recalibrating. We moved from the west coast of the USA, Las Vegas, to South Florida. So I'm calling in from South Florida today. You're a great man. You just always host great rooms. And I want to make sure I got the young lady's name who spoke. Is it Bebe? I want to make sure I got that correct.
Bibi.
Bibi.
Yeah,
That's the
at
young
the
lady
very
in the
top,
back.
yeah.
She's right next to Bibi. I tell you what a blessing. What an honor. I feel my ears were privileged to be in your presence today, to hear your energy, to hear your fire, to hear your passion and your impact. So I want to first and foremost tell you that you impacted me. You see, I've always got a statement about who encourages the encouragers. I do a lot of encouraging in the world. So you encourage me today. And then I want to encourage you because you're an encourager. And I was just curious before I commented on the proverb, baby, do you have an online course or do you do this hands-on with children? How do you conduct your teaching?
Yeah, David, go ahead. I think it's Debbie.
Absolutely. Yes, Debbie Berlin. So I have done both, as a matter of fact, in person, and I've also done online courses. So I like to do them around themes like Kwanzaa or New Year's. But if there's an interest, please feel free to reach out to me on my website, www.game, Dev, short for developer, DEV, Debbie, DEBBIE.com, and let me know. Send me a message, and perhaps we can plan something together.
Yeah, I would love that because I'm a platform creator. We have a whole mentorship platform, and the things that Simon's doing, I want to talk to him about. But that really caught my interest because I'm into supporting kids. I've supported an orphanage school in Kenya since 2010, and we were the only funding source. I've had as many as 370 orphans at one time that I'm taking care of on a monthly basis. And I can remember when we first sent over iPads to the kids, it was just amazing to watch their growth. So I really appreciate you. Somehow or another, I got to make sure I get a hold of you. So that is GameDevDebbie.com.
Absolutely. GAME, game, dev, short for developer, DEV, and then my name, Debbie, DEBBIE.com, Debbie Berlin.
All right. Well, we're going to definitely talk. But, it was awesome just to be able to hear you speak. And how I feel about the proverb, Simon, if you want to go fast, go along, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Here's what I think of. It might be a different perspective, but I think of the acorn. So the acorn by itself, if you plant that acorn and you water, give it sun, if it's in great soil, it's going to grow to be an oak tree. But if that acorn's mission, which it is to become a forest, then it's going to want to reproduce and then take others with it and with her. And so my focus here is everywhere I go, I want to plant a seed, and for that seed to become a forest, I want it to become a movement. I don't want to waste time on my words not going into fertile ground. And so what I want to be able to add to the conversation today is the words that you are hearing, they're great seed. All you got to do is be great ground. And all of us are acorns. And all of us have the ability to forest out our incredible presence and our passions and our ability to impact others. And Simon, that's what you do. And that's what I heard Miss Debbie do today. And I'm just so honored to be here. So everybody go ahead and grow into that forest. I appreciate you, Simon. I'm off the mic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you as well. And I appreciate everyone who has been with us, the entire 1 hour of our conversation today. We are coming to the tail end of our time together. Debbie, I want you to share a few reflections on what you heard from all our speakers, and then let us know how we can support your work. And if you want to talk briefly about the conference that you just attended, Gaming for Change. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for the wonderful feedback. I'm so appreciative. Simon, you mentioned STEAM and sports, and STEAM is in sport because every time you make that basketball hoop, that's physics. And every time you run, that's physics. So we want to think of STEAM as a tool. It's everywhere. It's in the kitchen. If you're making brownies, it's everywhere. So you're already doing science every time you incorporate anything in life. So think about that. And for BB, absolutely. It's so much easier to remember language if it's in a song, which is a really great way that I learn other languages, with a ongeringo melody. And absolutely what you said about that endurance, the marathon runners, the go further when sometimes we can pass the baton and cheer on our teammate. Absolutely. Rushdie, you talked about self-knowledge and growth. Absolutely. We continue to be lifelong learners, improving ourselves. Hi, B. Harvey. I'm so glad you showed up. Thank you so much for representing the community that I serve, and for your beautiful children, how excited they are about STEM. B. Harvey is an amazing artist, so definitely have to check out her Instagram. She's doing beautiful work that celebrates African diaspora culture, gorgeous art. Thank you so much, B. Harvey, as you said, to support as a community so we can do this journey together. And I just appreciate everybody else. Tutalani, Stella, everything that was said about positive energy, Brother Jay, planting seeds in our mind with our words that are fertile. So again, going back to the affirmations, look in that mirror, plant the seed of your life. I am that thing that you wish to become, and so shall it be. Now, Simon, you asked about this wonderful conference. I just got back from New York. It's called Games for Change. A lot of times we think about games, we think about having fun. Wonderful. But do you know that games and other interactive media can also be used for education, for health care, for social impact? Perhaps telling the story of an immigrant with virtual reality so you can step in their shoes. Perhaps giving Brianna's Garden in memory of Breonna Taylor a place in the metaverse to celebrate her life and her healing work as she was awarded her nursing degree posthumously in order to continue that healing space for herself and for our loved ones. We might want to consider a legacy we can leave of our work and life and celebrating our loved ones in the metaverse. Wow. Or something as simple as recipes, how they deal with tradition and culture. You put on an Oculus Quest, now you're making recipes from all over the world, and we're sharing our cultures and tradition. The power of tech, the digital space. So Games for Change is a wonderful festival. It's my 4th time attending. Check them out online, Games for Change, and explore all the ways that interactive media can be used to make social impact and awesome things in this world. I am so excited. And I'm also wearing my Wholesome Games t-shirt. A lot of times we think video games have to be violent, kill everybody. No, there's a whole group of people that say, let's make some wholesome games. We can play with kids. We can have it be warm and fuzzy and cozy. So, games are such a beautiful way to explore creative potential in the digital realm. And thank you for asking me how I can be connected with and supported. Check out my website, as I mentioned. It's www.game, G-A-M-E, dev, short for software developer. Debbie, my name, DEBBIE.com. See you online. Consider becoming one of my Patreons or supporting me in a financial way, or simply just follow me on all my socials. I post a lot on Instagram, and just cheer me on. Even if I can't hear you, you're behind your computer screen saying, go Debbie, I'll get the inspiration. It will come through.
I
So
love
thank
it.
you so much. Yes, and I'd like to leave you all with a poem that I wrote when we did another proverb about fire and ashes, and Simon invited me to share it during my segment. And so for all of us that think, well, maybe we can't get into tech, or maybe we have too many doubts, or maybe, all these, negative self-talk. First of all, I got into tech as an adult. I was working as an administrative assistant, and I was programming macros on Word and Excel and Google, and figured out how to code until I was able to get back to school and get a degree in computer science. So I tell everybody and anybody, start learning tech today. You're not too old. You're not too whatever. Everybody can, if you're here, it's your time. And tech is everywhere. So don't be afraid. And so I wrote this poem. This is when we were discussing about what you lose in the fire, you'll find in the ashes. And I feel it's pertinent so that if we have doubt and self-talk, we can remember we're like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So I'll close with this poem called Fire, Fire, Fire. Fire, fire, fire. Fire, fire, fire. The fire that is seen. Fire, fire makes us rise. We can see it in our eyes. Fire, fire. From the dawn of creation, go back to the ancients. Fire makes an animal a man. We humans rose up when fire showed up, and we held it in our hands. Fire from the sun makes this whole world turn, but fire can be hot. Get too close, you get burned. But what is a burn? Let us learn. Sometimes in our hearts, there are dark parts. Bring it to the fire. Bring it to the light. Dance in the fire all through the night. And in the morning, realize your soul alchemize. And the ashes that remain, those reminders of your pain, place on your forehead, your third eye. And like the phoenix, you will rise. Fire.
love it. I love it. I love it. David, thank you. Thank you. You're always incredible. And I can't wait to have you again as our guest here for the African Father in America podcast. And we are also looking for more guests. So if you want to be a guest, on this show, let Stella know. She's on the stage, and also let me know directly, and we'll send you all the information that can allow you to schedule time so that you can be one of our guests. This week we have really incredible guests lined up for you. Tomorrow, Chioma Sheri is going to be our guest, and then Thursday is Gogo Rutendo Ngara, and Friday I will have to confirm who it is. Now, I want to thank you all for taking the time, joining us for today's session, sharing, and really contributing your words of wisdom to our conversation today. Debbie, thank you again for making the time. I am sure I will be seeing you before the end of this week virtually, and I truly appreciate it. With that, we've come to the end of our time together. And again, if you're able to join us in Seattle, August 13th and 14th, we have Madaraka Festival. And this Thursday at the Olympic Sculpture Park, that's the Seattle Art Museum's Olympic Sculpture Park, we are announcing the lineup for Madaraka Festival. So, stay in tune with us and let me know through Instagram. That's the best way for me to respond to you soonest. Thank you again, Debbie. Peace and love to you.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.